Hello everyone, Simon Bard here, and welcome to a special Easter review. Tomorrow is Easter Sunday, and that means I'll be reviewing a holiday special for the occasion. And what I'm going over is the Easter special from Rankin that is one of their most underrated. The first Easter Rabbit. A girl named Glinda gets a stuffed rabbit for Christmas and names him Stuffy. But she soon gets sick, and her mother, under Dr. Jonathan's instructions, is to burn everything including Stuffy. Yet one night, a fairy named Calliope brings Stuffy to life and tells him that he's to be the first Easter rabbit and to go to Easter Valley, which is hidden within a mountain at the North Pole. And along the way, Stuffy meets 3 rabbits, who make schemes to steal things, but eventually come around to helping Stuffy. But in the meantime, a snow wizard, I think, named Zero, and a snowball of a partner named Bruce, or as this special calls him, Bruce, are trying to find the entrance to Easter Valley, for there's a golden lily within the valley that's keeping the place warm, and Zero wants to steal it so that all of the North Pole is covered in snow. As much as I enjoy and love the Rankin specials, this one, which is their second Easter special, just didn't do much for me. For one thing, most of the story is like the Velveteen Rabbit, from the opening to when Stuffy becomes real. But there are a few changes from the original story. Instead of a boy loving the toy, it's a girl, and there's no nursery, no rocking horse, and no nanny. And rather than leave the child's illness open to whether he or she lives or dies, here the child lives, which is fine since it's a Rankin special. But not so for me, because the girl who voiced Glinda is not the best in this. It's too one-note and bland that there's no sense of direction or even care that's given. And she would have been better if she was like the other Rankin kids like Karen from Frosty the Snowman or Aaron from The Little Drummer Boy. But there's just no passion with this one. And for being a half-hour special, it does rush by many scenes and forgets to develop certain things. Calliope never appears again, Zero's change from bad to good, despite building it up, somehow came from nowhere, and the old rabbit narrating the story becomes part of a twist ending that is in the same vein as the narrator in The Mouse on the Mayflower, except a little more different and a bit confusing. But even with those problems hanging around the special, there are some things to admire with it. Like how Christmas is inserted in an Easter special. But unlike Peter Cottontail, where it's one scene set at Christmas, here it's mentioned a few times, and only one scene where it's set at Christmas. And some of these mentions include Santa Claus, who's in the special, and mentions of how both holidays relate, with their icons and messages. So it's kind of nice to see that the 2 holidays have things in common, despite that they run into each other once in a while. But then there's the songs, and there's only 2 of them. One is called There's That Rabbit, which has an upbeat and nice tune to it, but the lyrics are often forgettable, except for maybe a couple verses. The other is the Irving Berlin classic Easter Parade, and it's a decent rendition, even though Glinda has to start it off. Yep, both songs are pretty much fine. They could have been more catchy, but they do their job well. And the actors voicing the characters have done a decent job. Burleigh voices and sings as the narrator rabbit. Paul Frez voices Santa Claus, Zero, and Spats. Robert Morse voices Stuffy. Don Messick voices Jonathan and Whiskers. Stan Freberg voices Flops. Bob McFadden voices Bruce. And Joan Gardner voices Elizabeth and Calliope. So as a whole, this special is alright. The characters are fine, the story is okay, the animation is fine too, and its 2 songs are fine as well. Directors Arthur Rankin Jr. and Jules Bass has done an okay job of making an origin story for the Easter Rabbit, before their next Easter special of course. But while parts of the story are similar to the Velveteen Rabbit, and the special feels pretty rushed and such, it still has the classic Rankin Bass charm, with its music, animation, and cast. But it's not the strongest of specials that Rankin Bass has done, and for ranking it among the 2 other Easter specials they've done, I put this at number 3, behind The Easter Bunny is Coming to Town at 2, and then Here Comes Peter Cottontail at 1. So today, this special will begin a rating of 2.5 mixed stars. So thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or Twitter. Tune in next week for a new video, and have a happy Easter. But there are a few changes from the original story. Instead of a boy loving the toy, it's a girl. And there's no nursery, no rocking horse, no nanny, no. Don Messick voices Jonathan and Winters. Yeah.